Hi guys, welcome back to the Social Tune. And this is Record Roundup for February 2024. That's right, with that name change, this series is officially back, baby. February was a good month, with some projects and tracks that really did live up to the hype, and some that didn't. But this show is all about spreading positivity, damn it. For instance, did you hear this? Alabama Shake's frontwoman Brittany Howard came back with a vengeance this year, giving us an electric and awesome fusion of funk and soul, with a manic psychedelic touch that I haven't heard done this well in a contemporary album since Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino. Raw, groovy as fuck, rocks like your coolest aunt, and with some of the most genuinely kick-ass hooks of the year so far, where with just a few simple tricks of vocal dynamics and multi-tracking, Brittany makes every single moment feel huge, armed with one of the richest voices working in music today. Queen of Frigid Darkness has returned, with another industrial, spacious, and yawning gaze into the void, as she invites all who dare to come along and stare it down with her. Now, occasionally the abyss can get a little bit too all-encompassing, and in those moments Chelsea herself does rather get lost in the mix. But hey, if you're in the mood for that, you'll get lost right along with her. And don't we all love an album that can allow ourselves to just get lost for a while? Just to get a moment of respite from the waking nightmare that we're all living in? This is one of those rock albums that feels like it's made for nerds by nerds. All soundtracking, what else? Building a life together. All the while making time for existential dread at never being able to afford a house, fantasizing about having a baby together versus the terrifying prospect of actually raising a child, and all climaxing to a wedding day where they find themselves face to face at the altar and realize they don't even know who they're marrying. It's Overthinking Relationships, the album. Also, side note, it's about time a band with this name make a wedding album, damn it.
You know that time can take you for a ride, can take you by surprise.
I have been a fan of this band since 2017's The Navigator, but I'll still admit that this album caught me completely off guard. As frontperson Alinda Segarra traces out their story of leaving home, living extremely rough as a closeted genderqueer musician, and all the drug addicts and marginalized forgotten characters that they would meet along the way. It's a punishingly raw album lyrically, built on Americana imagery that feels dusty and lived in, while also definitely not shying away from the uglier moments of that train-hopping lifestyle. Also, it's produced like a dream and catchy as fuck. What more do you want? These women's collective rise to success has felt like it's a bit on fast forward, but when the fundamentals are this solid, I'm not about to complain. Industry plants or not, it is rare to come across a band that has found its sound this early on, building off the momentum of their one hit from last year beautifully, resulting in an extremely modern and nuanced take on feminism that is only made better by their very self-aware commodification of old-school iconography to emphasize their points. Also, it's produced like a dream and catchy as fuck. What more do you want? This album was a major pivot for MGMT, and I know that it's not something we all wanted, but I personally think that it's actually quite refreshing and no less existential. A gorgeous, frankly stunningly produced album that almost feels closer to Father John Misty-esque soft rock than anything they'd done previously, while still no less well-written and chock full of hooks. I know it's a gentler listen, and it does kind of suck that the best song is a single from last year that already made my top 100 songs of 2023, but this still cuts very deep. Please give it some time.
Do you believe right? Do you believe in God? Do you believe that you were to receive the choosing to receive it all?
Ever since Bring Me Back When the World Is Cured, I have been keeping a very close eye on Sadistik, whose appeal finally clicked with me on that project after years of trying. And believe it or not only do I think that this might be even better, but it is a strong contender for Rap Album of the Year this early on into 2024. No joke, this is stunning. as producer Moleskull brings Sadistik crashing back down to Earth after he was floating up in space with producer No, and grounds him down in the streets of a dark, vicious city, where the pleasures of Earth are sure to tether and drag him down, whether those be drugs, sex, or just glorifying violence against authority figures. But it's also grounded in the knowledge that he'll go through those things with other similarly broken people, those that society have forgotten and cast aside along with you. It's a nightmarish, twisted album that celebrates those that dwell in the darkness of night, with samples and beats that feel more rooted in horror movies and ghost stories than ever, and some of the most poignant songwriting that I've heard so far in 2024. Here's a couple of examples. Dollar signs drive people to change. Blind leading the blind using insight. Open carry towards a cop, pig's blood on your prom dress. And that's just one singular line from 3 individual songs. This album will go overlooked by far too many. Please make sure you don't make that mistake. Phew, that was a lot, and now let's close things out with the songs. Occasionally TikTok does get it right. Why the fuck does this remind me of 2013 era The Weeknd?
16 characters.
Majestic as fuck. It's the better single in my opinion. Their last album was pretty overrated, so very nice to see Bicep actually making music I want to dance to.
Will you speak the truth with your feet to the fire, dig a hole?
Name one other band that rocks this hard while fence-sitting. I'll wait.
That was me, Blue. That was me before you.
Jesus Christ, is it any wonder that this guy's won Best Producer of the Year about 6 times at this point?
Now relax, have fun. Everybody in this bitch get tips.
Little early in the year to be calling this the best cover of 2024, but I'm doing it anyway. It warms my goddamn heart that something this awesome is currently in the Irish top 5. As of writing this, the full album just dropped. Here's to hoping it's half as great as this. Bit of a late January carryover, but I'd be kicking myself if I didn't include it somewhere. Environmental awareness has rarely sounded so badass.
I found a deeper well.
Comfortably Casey Musgrave's best solo hit in years.
Get your bread set, get your bread set, get your bread set. We're on a mad one.
Having looked more into the politicians portrayed on this song, and the fact that the hook hasn't left my head in the last couple of weeks, I feel pretty justified in recommending this here. Here for many of the same reasons as Brittany Howard, except horny as hell. What's not to love?
Oh, but promise me that when it's time to leave.
I am so happy to see the upward trajectory of Maggie Rogers' career over the last couple of years. Really surreal to think that I was there from the very beginning.
Real curvy, no edging. Niggas fight to get in my section.
Megan fucking bodied the competition on this one. And after one little pathetic squeak from Nicki and then nothing else, everybody, including her, has been smart enough to shut the fuck up.
You got a heart like a runaway train, screaming down the mountainside.
One of the best hooks that you will hear in country music this year. Where the hell did this come from?
We lost one another, but we'll always have the soundtrack.
I never expected this, but Zara Larsson honestly got me to care about one of her modern songs, even if she did have to rip off the melody of Fallen by Harry Styles to do it.